What is the best loophole you ever found? I coach a high school team. We recently bought airfare with Spirit Airlines to take 9 students to a competition. 2 of the students cancelled about a month out from the trip, and we had to replace them with 2 different students. Spirit Airlines policy: no name changes. Can't even pay a fee to change the name. The tickets are basically lost. I have to buy new tickets. Spirit's customer service is overseas, and they plainly don't care at all about customer service, because they don't actually work for Spirit etc. Except that Spirit Airlines does allow passengers to correct misspellings, and these folks don't really recognize nonsense names. So over 4 calls, I changed the names of the cancelled students to the names of the new students, 2 letters at a time. No one at Spirit customer service made a note, because who would care? And no one ever notices that the correct names during the intermediate steps were nonsense. Also, frick Spirit. Some new magazine was asking college students to send out subscription forms by email to all their friends. For each 25 emails you sent, you would get a $10 Amazon gift card. Turns out, they didn't need to be real emails. I made about $100 before they told me to stop. In 1st grade our school had Catch a Kid cards. Every time you did something good you'd get one. Whoever had the most at the end of the year won a prize. My teacher, to promote animal awareness or some crap, gave us 1 card for each newspaper story we brought in that had something to do with animals. So instead of being a good kid doing good deeds, I just combed through the newspaper each day and hoarded cards through animal stories. Eventually she was like, alright, for frick's sake, you're only getting half of a card for each story, and I was like, maze. 5s, I do not give a frick, and continued bringing in the stories. I destroyed all the competition and won the grand prize of a $50 Toys R Us gift card, which, when converted from 6-year-old dollars into US dollars, is about $24,500. That conversion sounds about right. Best Buy had double trade in value on games several times. Craigslist people want cash instead of store credit, but used games for $20. Get $25 in trade-in, which doubled to $50 store credit. I ended up with about $1,200 in store credit, which cost me maybe $400. My old bank used to give me $2 reimbursement anytime I used another bank's ATM to cover the fee. There was a local bank ATM that charged a $1.50 fee, so I would make $0.50 3 times a month. Years ago signed up for the Columbia House DVD of the month when I was 16. Most of you probably don't know about this, but it was a deal where you got a dozen DVDs for free and then had to buy one a month for $15. If you didn't order a movie that month, they would send you one that was their selection of the month. Anyway, when I got all the free movies, I wrote them a letter stating I wasn't 18 and they cancelled my subscription and let me keep the movies for free. Also, back then you could just sign up with a fake name. It was a simpler time. Back when I was much younger, maybe around 8-9, my stepfather, notorious spicy food connoisseur, dared me to eat a chili pepper. After I refused, he told me that if I could eat the whole thing he would buy me an Xbox. He hadn't said anything about chewing, so I cut the pepper into 3 and swallowed them whole with some milk. Always to keep his word, he bought me an Xbox the following day. I think he was probably going to buy the Xbox for you either way and just wanted to see if you'd do it. I work at McDonald's. The first thing that comes to mind is one time when a guy ordered a 50-cent cone in a cup and Oreo crumbs on the side. He mixed it together right there at the counter and made a cheap version of a McFlurry, which is $2.50. I'll throw in another story for good measure. My lady wanted a McChicken meal, McChicken sandwich, medium fries, medium drink, but wanted all the contents ordered separately. On the screen, there's a meal button that groups everything together. Ordering everything separately made it like $1 cheaper. This isn't a cheat because it's not on the menu, but I highly recommend ordering a vanilla shake with an espresso on the side. Mix those together for a heavenly reward. If you do your own brake job, you can buy brakes from AutoZone that include a warranty. This warranty just so happens to cover normal wear and tear. Every time you need new brakes, bring in the worn out ones and you get a new set for free. Seriously amazing. When Verizon changed their unlimited plan, we got to keep ours due to being grandfathered in. Basically, as long as we kept our phones, we kept the plan. But once we upgraded, we would have to switch plans. My family has 4 phones, 3 smartphones and my little brother's dumb phone with no data. When we went to upgrade, we asked the Verizon rep if there was any way we could keep unlimited. After some experimenting with the system, she found a way. She moved my data package to my brother's phone. Since he didn't have any data, upgraded my phone, then moved the data package back. Same for my parents' phones. So we got to keep the unlimited and still got our upgrade. Screw you Verizon, but major props to your employees. I also have VZ. However, I think they blocked this loophole. However, you can get new old phones or used ones and swap out the SIM card. I've done this twice. Those self-serve yogurt places have been popping up all over my area for the last 2-3 years. One opened up shop in a crappy strip mall that's a pain to get in and out of. To get people in, they put stacks of coupons out in offices near them for a free small yogurt. They neglected to put an expiration date on any of them. I gathered all of them that were at my office and even found some in a handful of places near the yogurt place. I've been eating free yogurt for the last 20 months. I earn double points on my credit card through gas and grocery purchases. So when I plan to buy something, say, at Lowe's or go out to eat, I go to the grocery store and buy a gift card. Double points for the gift card and at least double fuel points through the grocery store. Many rewards programs have caught onto this scam and exclude non-merchandise purchases like gift cards. There was a McDonald's near my college, and in it was an ATM. If you used the ATM and got a receipt, it would come with a coupon for a buy one, get one free large sandwich. I'd swipe my card, hit cancel and a receipt would print out showing the cancellation. I would then find someone in line buying a large sandwich and hand it over to them. Free sandwiches for about 8 months until it finally went away. I don't eat McDonald's anymore. This is the most college student loophole in the thread. Watched a guy do this over the course of about 1.5 years when I worked for a credit card company. The guy was getting a divorce, but wanted to hide some money from his soon-to-be ex-wife. So he overpaid his credit card account by $80,000. He then called us to issue a check for the money, so on his statements it would reflect a zero balance. But he would never cash the check, so it would come back on our books. Every 6 months, the balance would return and he would call to have a new check issued, so it looked like an accounting error. From what I understood, the lawyer only reviewed a couple of months worth of credit card statements, and he timed the issuance of the check just right so no one was the wiser. He called and spoke to a guy on my team and told him the whole story, and then we issued the check for the last time and never heard from him again. I used to work as a teller for a credit union. Guy would do the same thing. We would cut cashier checks out of a neutral account, so he just took all Guy's money as cashier checks payable to himself. Came in on the 6-month mark to recut the checks. Hid so much money from his wife. When I first got an iPhone, I bought an insurance package that I thought covered just about anything. After about a month of having my new iPhone, I got a really bad scratch on the screen. The scratch haunted me and I would constantly imagine a nice fresh screen again, so I went to the insurance company and asked them to replace it. The insurance rep told me my coverage is limited to more severe damage like cracks and water damage, not scratches. So naturally I went out into the parking lot and tanked my phone against the pavement, completely obliterating the screen. I walked back into the same insurance rep, acting like I wasn't just there 5 minutes ago, and explained that my phone was severely damaged and I wanted a replacement. In 4 days I had a nice smooth iPhone free of charge, this time with a screen protector. Not my find, but my mother's. Back in the day when a woman needed her husband's permission to get a loan or sign up for a credit card, my mother used to take advantage of the sign up for our store credit card today and get XXXX free. She would fill out the form completely, but since my father refused to sign the permission section, because he thought it was stupid that she would need permission in the first place, the credit card company would throw out her application, so she would get the free gift either way. She must have done this a dozen or more times. Not my loophole, but whatever. The American government wanted, and still wants, people to use $1 coins instead of notes. So they start selling $1 coins for $1. People used their credit cards to buy $100,000 worth of coins and then immediately deposited them all into their bank, taking them out of circulation again to pay off their credit card and then reap the rewards from the credit card usage. Usually in the realms of frequent flyer miles, people were accumulating millions of miles worth of airline travel for free. You are forgetting an important part of the loophole: free shipping. In order to encourage wider distribution of the coins, the US Mint offered free shipping on orders coins. So basically, order coins from the US Mint with a rewards credit card, have them shipped for free to you, and then take them to the bank immediately upon receiving them. No cost to you and you rack up the points. Ooh, I have a good one. I had saved up a crap load of coins and needed to get them counted. I went to a bank that I knew had a coin counter, mine didn't, and asked the staff if I could use it if I belonged to another bank. She said sure, and so I did. It was about $800 plus when all counted. I took my slip to the counter and she asked if I had an account with them. I explained I didn't, but the lady at the front said I could use it. She comes over, and says she didn't realize I didn't have an account here. WTF. And I would need to pay 20% of my coins total. I was fuming for about 5 seconds. Then I turned to the teller and said I'd like to open an account please. She was peeved but sent me to the other section to open an account. I deposited the money into my account, waited until I got my card, withdrew it and went in and closed the account. It was a lengthy workaround but it worked. Always wanted to tell people about this or write into Nintendo Power and never had a chance. This goes back to the days of the Game Boy. I learned one day while playing Final Fantasy Adventure that you could max out your levels through a simple trick. 1. When one of your characters would gain a new level, do not move from your existing position and immediately save the game. 2. Then press B, A, Start Select, which would cause the Game Boy to reset. 3. Load up the game from where you saved and you will immediately get attacked by the same monster that you leveled up from last time. Upon killing him, the same character who got leveled up previously will level up again. Rinse, repeat. It's old and no one cares, but I feel like I finally got to spread the word on this one. I can die happy. Winn-Dixie had Skittles buy one get one free at the register. When you scanned a pack of sour Skittles, a manufacturer's coupon for a free bag of regular Skittles came out of the register. So as long as they were separate transactions, you could use the coup from the previous transaction on the current one, so on and so forth. I bought a whole case of both, paying $0.12 for tax for each transaction. Most hotels will charge you if you cancel a booking within 48 hours of your scheduled stay. You can reschedule your booking for free though and move it outside of the 48-hour block and then cancel for free. This year I have casually found a vending machine near my house that has a little bug. If I insert my money and I repetitively press the button for a Fanta, the machine gives me 2 Fanta instead of 1. Now I always go to that vending machine. My high school advanced algebra teacher had a system where you could retake an exam if you failed. Part of this was if you were to tutor someone who failed and then subsequently passed because of your help, you'd get 1 stroke 2 of their improvement added to your score. So the smartest girl in the class and I took turns getting zeros on exams and then tutoring each other. When I was in elementary school, I took part in a paper airplane contest in which whoever's paper airplane flew the farthest won. We had unlimited pieces of paper at our disposal and about 10 minutes to craft our planes. I noticed some other kids had airplane that flew quite a bit farther than mine, but still not very far. So basically I crunched all my failed planes into a dense paper ball and just chucked it. It went almost 4 times as far as my nearest competitor. When our whole Algebra 2 class figured out how grading on a curve works and statistically used it to our advantage, average grade on our finals was a 52%, so the whole class passed without really even trying on it. Went to Walmart to buy a shotgun, which required proof of residency, and my driver's license had a PO box so they wouldn't accept it. I asked what documents could be used as proof of residency. Turns out a fishing license counts. Does Walmart sell fishing licenses at the same sporting goods desk? Yes, they do. Document needed to get a fishing license: a driver's license. A Walmart sporting goods associate filled out the paperwork for my fishing license, for which I provided my physical address and then handed it over to me. I handed it back and said, "Now I'd like to purchase that shotgun." The look on their face was priceless, but a few minutes later, I walked out with it. Back in middle school and high school, I was busted at home for looking at pee. My parents had the MSN browser and internet service at the time. Their response was to ground me and change the password to get on the MSN account. This is during the years of dial-up. I discovered that I could type in any random digits into the password space, allow MSN to start the dial-up process, and then minimize the window. The computer would connect to the internet but not the MSN account. I would then open Internet Explorer and browse to my heart and hands content, erase the internet history, and they were none the wiser. When Radio Shack had open locations nearby, I'd buy cheapy $8.10 earbuds, later a cheapy $10.20 pair of over-ear headphones, and get a warranty on them. Whether it was the quality of the stuff, or me being an idiot, these would never last me more than a month or two, so I'd go back, buy the same pair for a huge discount thanks to the warranty, and put a new warranty on those. Repeat. Get two $3 sets of earbuds headphones forever, or at least until all the Radio Shacks near me closed down. They closed down for a reason. You are that reason. I guess this is kind of a loophole. One of my proudest moments nonetheless. In the final semester of my senior year in high school, I decided to take a class called Physics II. I liked the first physics class I took. I thought that this would be a fun class to go out on. Wrong, it was basically AP Physics. I was in way over my head. It's not that I wasn't trying, it's that physics just wasn't a subject I could easily understand. I failed a lot of tests. At the end of the semester, I had a D going into the final. I'm freaking out at this point, thinking that my college acceptance is going to be pulled. Our final project is about buoyancy. The task is to build a boat that could support you and your partner out of nothing but cardboard, glue and 20 feet of duct tape. If you could paddle to the end of a pool and back with you and your partner in the boat, you get an A on that aspect of the project. Great. Then my teacher made the mistake of offering an extra incentive. For every length of the pool you could go beyond that without sinking, you'd get 40 extra credit points. Extra credit was my only hope. We went out and found the sturdiest cardboard we could find. We carefully folded, glued and cut the cardboard into a canoe type of boat. It looked great. The day finally came. The entire class brought their boats out and we started. Most people made it to the end of the pool before their boats started to disintegrate. One group made it back and forth 13 times before they sank. Whoa, we were the very last team. We go in and start paddling. We make it to the end and paddle back, then out and back again, and again, and again. We crossed the pool 60 times before our teacher made us stop. We did not sink. We both earned 2,400 extra credit points. I went from a D to an A on the very last final I ever had in high school. True story and one of my greatest days. I would have made the cardboard a couple inches shorter than the length of the pool and just shuffled it back and forth a couple times for all the bonus points.